Benin State House of Assembly suspends 4 lawmakers for allegedly plotting to impeach the Speaker. Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics threatens to embark on strike if federal government fails to meet its demands. On the foreign scene, at least 5 verdicts exhumed on Kenya's coast linked to starvation calls that came to light in 2023. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Olufemi Alagbe. Amnesty International Nigeria has issued a report criticizing the federal government's inability to protect its citizens and bring the perpetrators of widespread violence to justice. The human rights body in its latest report on Friday said at least 65 people have been killed in horrific attacks in 1 week, with hundreds displaced. The report followed a spate of deadly attacks across the country, which have left many dead and others displaced. The human rights body highlights a disturbing pattern of violence and an apparent lack of accountability. The Benin State House of Assembly has suspended 4 members for allegedly plotting to impeach the Speaker. Wandona Doja. The suspended lawmakers are Alfred Berger, representing Makurdi North, Tene Shumawa of Kian, Cyril Ekang of Obi, and James Umoru, representing Upper constituency. The House resolves to suspend the lawmakers for 6 months during plenary on Friday. Majority Leader of the House, Sieta Tisa, moved a motion of urgent importance calling for disciplinary action. He accused the lawmakers of attempting to unsettle the assembly with what he described as a needless crisis. Dajo thereafter directed the sergeant at arms to lead the affected members out of the chamber. The Speaker also announced the appointment of Udu Elias as the new spokesperson of the assembly. Berger, who is among the suspended lawmakers, previously held the position of spokesperson. Here in Osun State, the chairman of the State Independent National Electoral Commission, Hashim Abioye, has again defended the February 2022 council polls in the state, insisting that those occupying local government secretariats are doing so illegally. He spoke while appearing at a guest on Frontliners, a flagship program of the League of Veteran Journalists in Osun State. According to Abioye, the chairman belonging to the All Progressives Congress, APC, imposters, adding that the courts had earlier sacked them from office. Abioye also recounted how OCX outsmarted alleged efforts by the Inspector General of Police and the Attorney General of the Federation to stop the February 2022 election from holding. He said the commission received useful information that there were attempts to truncate the exercise, which it worked on by ensuring early distribution of sensitive materials to local councils.
Council, particularly with respect to the authority, the officials that are to be at the local government area. Some people have been saying that what is our business as an electoral body to venture into that, but I want to say that it's all about who the legitimate baby of the commission is, and we as the father knows our baby. We know that we conducted an election on 22nd February 2025. The election ran the full length of notice, that is 360 days, and the court has validated that. So the question as to who is to occupy who is to be at the local government council office in terms of political head has been clearly settled, particularly with respect to the decision of the Court of Appeal of 13 June 2025. We have, if there is any issue as to paternity of a child, you resort to DNA. The court has conducted a DNA, and the result of the DNA was the decision of the Court of Appeal of 13 June 2025 that validated the election that we conducted and declared that the purported election conducted by OSEC in 2022 had been invalidated, and the purported elected officials then had been sacked from office. So the long and short of it is that the product of the 22nd February 2025 local government election conducted by OSEC are the legitimate officials at the local council.
Former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has again slammed the federal government over the recent approval for the construction of modern bus terminals across the country. The government had, during the last Federal Executive Council meeting, approved 142 billion naira for the construction of the terminals across the 6 geopolitical zones. But Obi, in a statement on his X account, claims that the approval by President Bola Tinubu's government is not evidence of misplaced priority. According to him, health is one of the most critical areas of development, which is deteriorating and remains grossly underfunded in the country. In the meantime, the federal government has set a target of reaching 20 million children through the homegrown school feeding program by 2026, describing it as both an educational investment and a national security strategy. Vice President Kashim Shettima announced these at the National Policy Forum on the institutionalization and implementation of the renewed Hope National Homegrown School Feeding Program held in Abuja, represented by the Special Advisor to the President on Economic Affairs, Office of the Vice President, Kolade Fasua. The Vice President said the expansion under President Bola Tinubu's renewed Hope agenda was the boldest yet in the history of the intervention. Explains that the program, relaunched earlier this year, is designed to improve school enrollment and learning outcomes while creating a guaranteed daily market for smallholder farmers, women entrepreneurs, and local processors. Moving on, the Ebonyi State government says it has commenced investigation into the collapse of a mining pit in Ihetutu village, Ishago community, in the Ivo local government area of the state. The Commissioner for Solid Minerals, Chidi Onya, stated this at the site during a fact-finding mission with federal mining officers and security agencies on Friday. 2 persons lost their lives, while 3 others sustained a varying degree of injuries when a section of the mining pit caved in last Friday. The incident had been blamed on negligence on the part of the pit operator, but according to the commissioner, preliminary investigation suggested it was a case of natural occurrence. He commiserated with the bereaved families, adding the site was not leased out to illegal miners as being alleged. The company had since suspended operations at the site pending the outcome of the investigation. Nigeria and the Republic of Benin have signed a memorandum of understanding to bolster collaborations between local governments and traditional authorities across their shared borders. The agreement formalized efforts to deepen grassroots level ties under the African Union Convention on Cross-Border Cooperation, the Economic Community of West African States Cross-Border Cooperation Initiatives, and the Nigeria-Benin Cross-Border Cooperation Agreement. According to a statement from the Head Information and Public Relations Unit, National Boundary Commission, Efe Uvoa Korea, the MOU establishes a framework for cooperation between Nigeria's border local government areas and Benin's communes, as well as traditional rulers from both countries. It aims to tackle pressing issues including cross-border crimes while reviving historic, cultural, and social ties fractured by colonial-era boundaries. He adds that the federal government is committed to ensuring the agreement moves beyond paper commitments into concrete action that directly benefits communities. In Ogun State, the police command has debunked an online report alleging that suspected cultists attacked several communities in Abeokuta, killing at least 2 people. The report, which claimed that rival cult clashes caused unrest at Aregbe, Somori, Anobi, and Alogi, was dismissed by the police as false and misleading. Reacting in a statement on Friday, the spokesperson for the command, Omolola Udutola describes the publication as fabricated and inaccurate. The command stressed the cult-related activities in the state had been drastically reduced through intelligence-driven policing, community engagement, and proactive security measures. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics has threatened to embark on strike if the federal government fails to meet its demands at the expiration of a 21-day ultimatum. The zonal coordinator of ASUP Zone B, Innocence Simji, stated this during a news briefing in Bauchi on Friday, stressing that the union's position aligned with the resolution of its national headquarters. He explained that the ultimatum issued after an emergency National Executive Council meeting held on August 14 in Abuja was born out of the government's failure to address pressing issues threatening the survival of the polytechnic sector. He listed the pending issues to include non-release of circulars by the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission to cover peculiar academic allowances, non-payment of arrears after 25-35% salary review, and non-implementation of the review in state-owned polytechnics. Others are the delay in granting a dual mandate structure to eliminate the dichotomy between polytechnic and university graduates, and the non-release of approved needs assessment funds for infrastructure. You're watching News at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come. 486 pharmaceutical premises shut down in Niger State, following various regulatory violations. We'll bring you more on this when we return. Stay with us.
Aminatu, the legendary queen of Zaza